as if certain people think postpartum depression is kind of like a mood or something you go through temporarily and then it goes away. But there are some people who deal with it for an extended period of time, maybe even years, depending on their circumstance and who they are as a person. My name is Antwan. I'm 33 years old, and I have two daughters.
What is it like being a parent?
Being a parent is one of the most challenging, enlightening, humbling, and fulfilling things you could, at least that's what it's like for me.
Do you know what postpartum depression is?
I do.
Do you know 1 out of 10 fathers experience postpartum depression and anxiety?
I do.
Do you feel like you dealt with postpartum depression?
From a personal standpoint, for myself, to an extent, I could say yes. I know postpartum depression manifests itself differently for men and women, and being a man was with a woman who was dealing with postpartum depression herself. The effects kind of trickled onto me, and so I guess she felt she lacked, I felt I lacked, and I felt I had to make up for it. So I felt like I wasn't doing enough to keep everything moving the way it's supposed to within the circumstance.
Can you tell me a time when postpartum depression got the best of you or your partner or both?
There were several times, but in this instance, the mother of my children was exhibiting a lot of depressive behaviors. She was very lethargic. She didn't really want to do too much. She wasn't motivated. And one of the biggest things for her was returning to work. She cried and specified she wasn't prepared to return to work, which then prompted me to do everything I could to keep her out of work, not knowing that being home or being by herself with just the kids was also taking a toll on her as well, which is kind of what forced me to educate myself on postpartum depression, because I couldn't understand and I couldn't relate. I just know there were feelings involved, but I didn't know where the feelings stem from. It's not typical growing up, at least that I saw in my family, where the women exhibited behaviors like that, and the men kind of would step up and take care of business. Everything kind of got swept under the rug, and everybody kind of kept it moving as if it was normal, although it wasn't.
Do you feel that postpartum depression falls under the stigma from mental health?
I feel like for those educated in it, it does. I feel like for those who aren't educated in it, it does not. Like I said, people sweep things under the rug, so I feel as if certain people think postpartum depression is kind of like a mood or something you go through temporarily and then it goes away. But there are some people who deal with it for an extended period of time, maybe even years, depending on their circumstance and who they are as a person. I do think it falls under a mental health thing, because at least in my feeling, you can't chemically or you don't have the right way to express yourself. You know you're going through something, but you don't know exactly what it is until you kind of do research. You kind of look into yourself and then you try to assess and attend to the symptoms of the issue.
What things about you changed after having a child?
My level of responsibility, my level of accountability, my level of self-awareness. There are a lot of things that, I believe as people we do as children or young adults and even into adulthood, that we don't recognize the effects that it has on the environment around us and the people around us. Things like, punctuality, self-care, spanning to like a responsibility, making sure you have enough to go around, not living paycheck to paycheck, creating that environment, that atmosphere where it's stable, and having that safety net is what happened to me, definitely. Because before that, I didn't really look at life from a 5-month, 5-year, 10-year, 15-year perspective. I kind of looked at it as it's Friday, it's time to hang out. It's I just got paid. It's 7 p.m. Friday. So that was kind of the perspective. And then you have children or you have a child, and for most, I like to believe that it unlocks a different, it enlightens you. It enlightens you.
Did you feel like your child's mother suffered in silence, or was she vocal about it?
I believe there was a certain level of suffering in silence, but she was very vocal about how she felt about things, was vocal about not being able to partake in certain activities, not wanting to return to work and, until the time that she saw fit for her to go. But I also had bore children with a woman who also dealt with bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder. So these were things that I kind of had to learn and learn how to communicate these things effectively, even without it being vocalized to me.
Would you have more children?
I'm done. I'm out the game. I have two beautiful daughters. I'm very blessed, but I'm cool.